Hi everyone, it's Bob from Greybeard Models. Welcome back to the channel. And as you will have seen from the title, we've got one of the group build jobs done, which is the classic build for Jason over at Model Kit Stuff. And I think without too much waffle, we'll go straight over to the bench and have a look at the Churchill AVRE bridge layer, the Matchbox kit, which actually was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get over and have a look. Right, so we've got the two halves of the two sponsons together and the lower hole with the tracks. And I have to admit here that I've cheated. I was looking at the state of the tracks, and they're not too bad, and it's 1/76 scale anyway. So what I've done is put the tracks into position. Let me get a pointy thing. I need a pointy thing. Right, so I've got the tracks into position along the bottom here. And in fact, what I've done is super glued it in place, and then wrap the two ends around over the drive sprocket. Well, I think they're both drive sprockets because they're both teed or teethed. And what I've done is just basically stuck them in place, stuck the tracks in place under the track cover there and under the track cover there in place with super glue, and then just cut off the surplus. Done that on both sides, and it's held the tracks in place, and it saved using the tracks from the Revell kit. It used the tracks from the original Matchbox kit, and I think it's all right. Obviously, I'm going to be doing weathering on the tracks anyway, and by the time it's all done, I think it's going to be passable. The next stage to do before we put the top of the hole in place. Now this has been given a coat of the SCC 15. Before we do that, rustling of paper. According to the instructions, you're going to need 20 grams of weight in this end to counterbalance the bridging section, and it just so happens that I do have some lead strip here. I've used this before. I've used this for nose weights on aircraft kits. I don't know what else you could use it for. I suppose if there's anglers out there, you'll probably be able to tell me, yeah, you can use it for this, that and the other in terms. But what we do is we'll fold that up, get that all flat and plate and level, and then we'll epoxy glue it in place there. The other thing the instructions ask you to do is essentially put the put the turret in place. There's a hole there, and there's a small insignificant pin at the bottom of there, and there is, if I leave that there like that, there is a part which is this part here, number 2, which is this washer, and it basically says, oh sorry about that, it obviously stick that in place there, and it holds the turret in place. I don't think I'll bother with that. It's not like it's going to be pushed around on the carpet and I'm going to go vroom vroom with it and the turret could come off, because once all of this is in place with the base and everything else, it's pretty much going to be there. So I don't think I'll bother particularly. But anyway, the turret has come out really nicely. All the imperfections along there have all gone, which is quite nice. So it's got quite a nice sort of finish to it now. There's a little aerial that goes there. I haven't put that on. The reason for that is it's likely to get knocked off, so I'll leave that until we're right at the end of the build, and it's probably going to be one of the last things I put on. Oh, a bit of static holding a little piece of white, whatever it is. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the weight in, put the top of the hole on, and we'll get that sort of side of it done. And right, so we've got the bridge sections put together and painted. Got a sort of wood effect on the decking, and the top of the sides of the ramps, or the spans of the bridge, were painted white. Obviously, make it easier for somebody driving across it to be able to see what they're doing. And the cross members there were metal and painted SEC 15, so I painted those as well. And then the two halves mate together like that, and I've got some touch up to do around. Stop it, because I've got the camera so close to where I'm going. So yeah, so I've got a little bit of touch up to do, and then the bridge is going to be pretty much made, and then I can start putting things together. But yeah, so the bridge sections are all ready. While I'm talking about bridge sections, it asks for some in the kit. Asks to use some thread. So I had a look through my stock of thread. I've got some black there, which I think is okay. It's a cotton. I've got some brown, which might be another one, and that's cotton as well. And then I've got another piece of cotton, which is a sort of a green one, which is interesting. Not sure what colour to use, and I'm not really sure whether or not I want to use this cotton thread, but it's all I've got, and I'm not going to go and buy some thread just to do this kit, because I won't. Anyway, another thing that I wanted to point out was in the instructions it asks you to paint that part a rust colour, and yeah, it says F. I've got to try and open it back up. It says F there, that part there, and F is actually according to the colour call out. Bear with me. Is matte rust. Now the top here is actually the metal sheathing over the top of the exhaust pipes, and the exhaust pipes are underneath, and they're a sort of a would be a rusty colour, because there wouldn't be a finish on those, and they would have heat from the engine, etc. So the top bit has been painted SEC 15, and the underside has been painted rust, so that we've got sort of makes sense in my mind. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on. Stuff to do, and I'll come back to you in a minute. So now looking at the decals, this set of decals printed in Germany by Revell is the Matchbox ones, and this lot here is the Revell ones printed in Italy. So that's the earlier Matchbox set, and that's the more recent ones. The quality of this printing is far better than the quality of these. There's a lot of carrier film around these, so even if we try to rescue these, I don't think it's going to be worth the effort, to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to use the Revell ones, and I'll get on with those. Right, so okay, and there it is completed, and yeah, it's quite an impressive little model really for the scale it's at, and yeah, I think for its time it would have been a pretty cool kit to have built. I didn't build it back in the day, so um, yeah, I think it's quite a neat little kit. Let me do some more pictures, and I'll get back to you. Oh, yeah, trying to get some close-up shots of it. Yeah, as you can see, I've completed the winch assembly at the rear, exactly as it says in the kit. Let me get a pointy thing. So here, I've done that exactly as it says in the kit. So effectively, I can crank that and bring the bridge up. Put it on the base that comes with the kit, which I've just added a little bit more grit and dirt around the bottom just to blend it into the base. And the bridge itself, bit of weathering on it, bit of weathering on the tank, all that sort of thing. And like I say, all in all, I think it turned out to be quite an interesting little kit. I haven't got this fixed in place, so I can sort of move it, but it does, you know, the bridge will lift. If I crank the handles, it will lift. But yeah, it's I must admit I had my doubts at the beginning, but all in all, I think it's quite a cool kit. Can't wait to get onto the 1/35th scale version, and do a real build, if you like. But this will go into the display case along with lots of other things. I've left that loose because I didn't really know sort of what length on the base it would sit, but yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I'll do some stills, and that'll be a wrap for this one, and we'll move on to the next project. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like what you've seen. See you later. Bye for now.